like no, are you able to go through the recorded videos, or are you able to practice the sessions? Are you able to spend at least some 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour or 1 hour to work on UiPath? Path? Yes or no? So I did not get any response. Friends, do you have any concerns, or do you have any doubts? See, if I did not get any response, so what can I assume that? Because you do not have any doubts. So each like no, all the concepts whatever we have gone through, is it clear? That's what I can assume. That's what I can able to understand from your. Okay. So yesterday what we discussed, sorry, not yesterday. Mm, on Wednesday, what we discussed? We discussed about if we have input data in Excel, how we can retrieve the data from that. Then, so we have seen two different features. One is Excel application scope and workbook. Okay. So what is Excel application scope and what is workbook? So if we have if we have so even yesterday we have seen the differences when we use Excel application scope, and like now what we can able to do, and when you use workbook activities, what is the what are the options we can able to get it when using workbook activity, something like read range, and then we are able to read the data from. So for example, we have a data. So our input is the data is available in Excel, and in order to read the data from that, so we have used read range activity, and what are the properties are available. So the output of this read range activity is data table, and then now the data is available in data table. If we would like to read the data from column by column or row by row, so how do you read it? So for that we have to use, see, I am going to use, now it is only workbook, right? So what all the workbook activities are available? Read row. See, we saw read range activity, right? Read range activity is for read all the values from Excel, and read row activity will read only one single row. So it will not read all the values from Excel file. Take the workbook path. Usually whenever we are working on real time, so how you will read this data? So we will not, this is not the correct solution where we should not provide hard coded value of this workbook path. Why? Because the file will be available in a different folder, and file is available in a different in RPA we will have a folder. We will tell in real time shared folder. We can tell it's a shared folder. That means that, see, whenever you are working on client side, that means we are working for client. So client is not for our company employee. He is a different company, or we can call it a customer or client. So for example, I am working in HCL, and my client is, for example, Wipro or Infosys. So how do we communicate? Because all the HCL employees are under one network, but we are working for example. See, I am telling example like Infosys. So Infosys is a different company. So let us assume Infosys is our customer or our client. So we are working for Infosys to automate their projects. So in that case, HCL employees are under one network. Infosys will be in a different network. For that, so there will be a coordination between these two, Wipro and HCL and Infosys. They will create one shared folder. So that means that they will create they will provide accesses to RDP machines. That means Citrix environments or RDP, remote desktop applications, or VDI. That means virtual devices. That means we can log into, so here control, just click on control R, just type it like MSTS. This is the command where we can go for remote desktop connection. We can tell it's a ODP machine. Or even Citrix means it's a different environment. So, or it is a VDAs. That means the servers, the development server will be in a different location. So we have to work on a development server of the client. So we need to log into maybe RDP or VDI, or so there are different ways to log into the different clients or Citrix. Okay. So in that case, they will provide you one IP address to you, that IP address, and then they will provide the credentials, username and password to you, and you have to log in by using that. So here you have to enter either host. There are two things, one is host name or IP address. Okay. And then so you have to click on connect. So you have to provide the username and password. So once it is done, you will log into that. So there even UiPath also not available in your machine. That means, so you are having let us assume, so this is my company laptop. So in this company laptop, UiPath will not be available. UiPath available in a client machine. That means, so where I told, right, just I showed remote desktop application or remote desktop connection, RDC, RDP, or VDI, or Citrix. So there, they will tell you, okay, or your manager or your team lead or your architect will give you. So this is the, they will give KT. So this is the mission where you have to log in, and UiPath will be available there. You have to go on check whether UiPath is available, and what is the version of UiPath is available. Okay. From there you have to work, and then they will tell you in PDD, okay, product design document, or SDD, solution design document. So they will tell you where the shared folder. Okay. So in order to retrieve the files from the shared folder, how do you get it from the folder? So it will not be like under desktop, because so here it is a desktop, right? So it will not be like, so I'm going to create one folder. Input files. Okay. So see, in input folder, not only one file, there will be lot of files. So I am keeping in one folder all the .xl. I will tell you that also. Okay, let it be. So now come to here. See, they will ask you, this is also very important in the interview question. So you never pass the input file like this in real time. How do you pass it? Take one assign activity before using. In this assign activity, so you have to write directory dot. So there is an one function called get files of. So there are, go to value, get files of. See, first you have to provide a path of the file. Okay, so the path will not change. Path will not change. That means that. So the file name may change. Okay, so it depends on your client, but path will change. Why? Because now you are into development environment, so the development environment will have different host name. When you go to the testing environment, there will be different host name again, and when it moves to the production, there will be different host name. Host name only will change, because we have to provide a path right where the input file is available. So yeah, shift, okay, press shift and right click. So what you have to do, select this folder, shift and right click. So, and then you will get an option called copy as path. Okay, so and then paste it, because here we have one option. Comma. So this is, so I have provided where my folder is available. So this is the input folder, and then what is this pattern? So what is your input file pattern? So they will in a PDD or SDD, they will tell you the input file is a PDF file, or it's a Excel file, or see, Excels will have different types of Excel files. Dot XLSX, dot XLS, comma dot. So these are all the maybe XLSX or XLS. They will mention you in clearly in the PDD or SDD. So you have to give either this option. So how do you give it? So it should be defined under double quotes, star dot of So here star dot excel sx or excel s, and then provide code. So and this is because like now we have to close entire get files operation. So directory is one of the function that comes under system.io.directory. Dot get files is another one more function where we would like to get files. Okay, so the type of this is an array because all the values will be like now see, if it is one value or it is it will be like no more than one value or it will be a zero value. So that is the reason, so it will be array. So we will use file control K file path. So see, whenever we are defining by default what is the type of the variable, so it is of string, right? So we have to convert into string array of string. Okay, so now there is no error. So we will see this later. Why? Because now we need to check whether did we get the files or not. So what is our output is file path dot length. Okay, just run it. So we got an error, illegal characters in path. So this is the error. What is that? So here use dot and try. Click on save. So this is like now you have to debug it. Again we are getting the same error. So star dot excel sx files or star dot excel s files. still having the same issue. Maybe it is, no? Star dot. So we will use single file extension and see. Then we will go for so I got it for there are 6 files are available inside a like now this folder. This is folder, input files is a folder, and we are searching for only dot xlsx. So okay, so I used length. For example, like now we have a these are all the different files we have. Search mm, otherwise search option dot all directories. Directory dot get files. What is this? Search option to string. So system dot okay. So here it is. File IO. So input output files. So just go here, browse for types and system dot IO input output. IO dot file. What is that? File path. So we will give file. So here file IO. it will not work out. We have to use star.excel sx only. So here it is, file path. So we have all the files like this, and use for each activity. So this is, see, we have the data in array, and we have to use for each in order to so where is our output is under file path. So we have all the files are available here. So here whatever the file is there inside the folder, so we will get into item. So now we need to, which file we would like to take it. So see, for example, in your folder there are multiple files are there, and what is your input? So your input always only one file. It should not be multiple files. Your input would be that is only Excel. So and then, so there will they will give you what is the file name again. So if you have multiple files, maybe in that for shared folder, see, that cannot be happen in real time. That never be happen when you are working on real time projects. Always there will be only one file, and that file name whatever it may be. So we don't need to consider about what is the file name it is, and we don't need to validate if you have the file name say, for example, if we get the situation like that in future, so how do you validate that file, and how do you take that file from the folder? So then we have to use if and use here. Okay, so if item dot, is it item? Yes. Okay, item dot to string dot so this is all your files, right? There are how many files? 1 2 3 4. So this is not a file. Okay, 4 5 6 7, there are 8 files, but we are considering only dot. Okay, correct only. So we gave the file extension as .xlsx, that is the C one, this one 3, and this is a shortcut. Okay, So what do you say? And this is a different file. Okay, Excel comma separated means it's a CSV file, so we don't need to consider that. So we have only 6 files. Under 6 files, what we have to take? So for example, like no, this is the file with RPA. Okay, so we need to take only that file name. Okay, when like the file name starting with RPA or the file name contains RPA. Okay, so dot toString dot contains of RPA. So when the file name is like no having with that name RPA only, we have to consider. Then what we have to do? We have to so here item dot toString dot and we'll see. So we got that entire file name. So what we supposed to do that? See, we should not use that as directly that input path name. So what we have to give? Just remove this one, because like no, see, in order to get to know whether this is the file name what we are expecting, so here we have to use assign activity okay. So here we have to use item dot toString, and here control K file name, correct, right? So this file name, where we would like to keep it? So here sequence, so we have to, this is the top one, right? So always we have to provide what is this? This is Excel activities. So that is the upper. So after this, so this is the file name we have to provide as a RPA challenge rather than workbook path. So here we have provided entire hard coded values, right? These are called hard coded values. So here we can give file name. Okay, this is how so what happened, file name, assign activity, so here we got it, and okay, so we got the number of rows in a file, that is what, so we got the same. So this is the way you have to implement the logic, and in the interview point of view, they will ask you how do you get the file path. So you have to tell, so you have to use directory.get files of the path, and then what is the pattern. So it is a star.xlsx or star.xls or star.pdf. See, why are you giving star? Star means all the files. Star means all the files. Dot. So this is the extension of the file .xlsx. Star means all the files with this extension. That's why we are getting 6 or 5 files. How many files are there with that extension? Otherwise, if I give it if I did not give this star, we will get only the first file. Okay. Okay. So this is how you have to provide as input. Okay. Now read range activity we have. Okay. So come over here. Just type like workbook activities. So what all the workbook activities are available? So now read row. What it does? What is the sheet name and what is the starting cell? So it will read only one value. So what is the file path? This is the file name. Okay, and so result, control K, result. Disable this activity. So we are seeing all the remaining activities what are there in that. So what is the purpose of what is the difference between the read range and read row? So read range means it will give all the values in the Excel file. So read row is nothing but what it gives. So here I am giving starting cell of, just open this file, and where the data is available, the data is available under this sheet. Just double click on this, copy and paste. So for anyway we have to use in here sheet name. So in the default value I am providing a sheet name. This is my sheet name. So rather than giving hard coded value, sheet name, and so we'll see what is the value. We got an error. Why? Because I opened this file and kept it and I kept it open, right? So whenever you are using read range activity, so we should not keep that file, no, keep it open. We have to close it. So for example, whenever you are working on real time, like no, maybe by mistake, yeah, like no, you have opened that file and you did not close it. So each and every time, whenever it is like no, whenever it is running, like no, you are able to remember like no. So the file has been opened. So we shall like no, I forgot to close it. So it should not come across the situation when you are working on real time. So for that, what we have to do is you have to close it. For that, we have an activity called kill process. So we have to use kill process. What is the name of the process? Okay. So here the process name is, we just give Excel. Okay. And okay, so now I open this process. Now, sorry, I will open now this RPI challenge Excel file, and now I will run it. Sorry. So now we did not get any error. So what are the file is there? The file is closed. Did you observe this? Result. So what we did? See. So under A1 we got the result. This is the sheet name, this is the file name, and the result we got as 7. Result dot count, why we got 7. So here starting cell, oh, from A1 to, I will give from A2 I will give, or I will give A1 to ABCD or A A10. We'll see what is the result we get. So you are getting the same. So that means that there is no data or what? From A. So this is A1. 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 A1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So and then what is this? G10. So I will give like G10. Also giving the same. So right cell. I will give right line and what is this result, right? Result dot to string and see so it is a system dot object. It's an array. So that means we have given the data A1 to G10. So it reads all the data from that and all the data has been got into. So I would like to fetch right line dot where so I will tell you I will explain you this later. Function of x where x dot x of name, sorry, email. Dot to array. So disallows late binding. Okay, so it is not allowed. So result. So we should not use this. Use for each and result. So here we don't have time, right line. So item dot to string. So we'll see what is the value we get. So here it is A1 to, what is the range we gave? A1 to G. So when it comes to output, what are the values we got? So we got email, company name. So and that entire up to that, but see what we supposed to get. We supposed to get all the values. So we did not get it. So we'll see A to this range and see. So this will read row is nothing but it will read only one row. So it will not read. See here, if you go here, see what and all we get. So we get one particular row of that record from A2 to that entire row values. So if you open this one, so if you are able to get the all the values in the Excel, then what is the difference between a read row and read range? So we got A2 to up to here. So we did not get all the values inside in the entire Excel file. If it is if you are able to get by using read row, then what is the purpose of introducing read range activity? There is no reason, right? So that is the difference. Like now, whenever you like to get read row is for reading a one particular row. That's it. Like now, we won't get anything out of that. Okay, whatever you try, so you will able to get only one particular row. That is the reason. So we did not get this. Even we tried with a different like now, it doesn't allow. So when I use the main one, like now when I use like now what is that? Data table. So anyway, like now we will see in the feature. That means like in the upcoming classes, like now how to use, that is called like now link queries, like now how to write a link queries. That is our advanced concepts. Like now there you will ask in each and every interview, like now how, can you please write a like now select query, or can you please write a link query, like now how do you get it. Okay, that is what, like now what is the best way out of using for each loop. So you will speak like now we will speak like now later in the sessions. So that's how. So we are unable. So right, like now there are some activities like write cell. Tomorrow we'll see. Like now we are not able to spend much time today, so it's already over. Okay, so we have seen kill process. See, whenever we are, you are like no, for example, like no, this is the best practice we have to see. Even in interview point of view, they will ask like no, if you forget to open any file, so how do you do that? How do you overcome that challenge? So we have to use kill process, and then we can open a file, whether the file being opened or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it will kill it. Not only this is the process name is Excel. So for example, okay, so we will speak later like no, like how to kill different like no names of applications are open. How do you specify that? Okay, so where will get the process name? They are like no, this one we have to use. So in order to get the process name, so here click on status bar, right click on this, and like now go to task manager. See, okay, under task manager you will able to see all the processes. Just click on this like now arrow. So what is this? Untitled notepad. So you want to know that what is the shortcut for notepad, just go to details. Okay, so what and all is open, so they are all running by default anydesk.exe. okay, so atmgr.exe. so these are all the files are running in your like no system. So you want to know see, these are all the files, like no, what all the files are open like no running in your machine, you will able to get. So if we give this one zoom.exe, so here also we have to provide zoom. So .exe you don't need to consider that, you can give even though like no, it works, it doesn't matter like no, if you give or not the extension of the file. Okay, so for example, if I like no, open one notepad, right, you'll see what is that extension of the notepad. Just click on notepad. What is this? Notepad.exe. okay, so if you want to use it, close it. So you notepad and toggle breakpoint. So we'll see whether notepad being closed or not. See, so I have opened notepad, this is being closed whenever you execute this activity. So I don't want to execute the other activities, that's why I put breakpoint over here, because if the user click on continue, then only it will move, otherwise the control will not move to the next activity to be executed. Okay, okay friends, okay, we will close the call today. Any doubts? Do you have any doubts? See, I would request you, feel free, you can ask whatever the doubts you have. Bhavani, I gave permissions. I believe you have record. Are you recording in your mission or not? Or you don't know how to record it? అర్థమవుతుందా నేను చెప్పేది?
అర్థమైందన్న.
రికార్డ్ చేసావా లేదా?
చేశాను.
ఓకే, సూపర్ దెన్. సో ఇక్కడ రికార్డ్ అని ఉంటే నీ సిస్టంలో నాకు తెలియట్లా.
నేను సిస్టంలో నుంచి జాయిన్ అయ్యాను.
ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫ్రెండ్స్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. బాయ్ ఫర్ టుడే. సో మీకు ఏ డౌట్ ఉన్నా సరే